every wash day you keep seeing hair coming out and you wonder if it's shedding or breakage. Well, in this video we'll be exploring that a little bit more, so stay tuned. So I guess, why do people get this wrong in the first place? I think because they do look pretty similar, unless you know the difference. So, you know, they're both hairs coming out of your hair, isn't it? So you might think, actually, all this shedding, oh my gosh, my hair's breaking, all this breakage, oh my gosh, my hair's shedding. So you just might not know the difference in terms of how to tell the two apart. And in terms of how to tell the difference, now the best way of telling the difference in terms of whether it's shedding or breakage is, when it comes to shedding, the hair pieces will be longer, so they'll be much longer as opposed to breaking hair. And also, if you put it down against a table, maybe a white background, actually it does actually depend what colour your hair strand is, then you might see this little tiny white bulb at the end of one of the hair strands, which means that that is a shedded piece of hair. And they, as I said, the strands are normally quite longer in length. When it comes to breakage, now the pieces will be a lot shorter. They might be, you know, even this short, depending on how short your hair is, and they'll be different lengths as well. So you might get shorter pieces, you might get even shorter pieces. So it'll be a mixture of pieces, but they'll look a lot shorter than the shed hair that I was just describing before. So basically uneven pieces. Now, what causes shedding, you might wonder? Well, our hair actually goes through a natural cycle where we actually lose about 30 to 100 hair strands a day, which sounds like a lot, right? So you can imagine, in my case, or a lot of people's cases, when you haven't brushed your hair or combed your hair for a little while, whether that be, for me, I wash my hair once a week, for others it might be longer, you might find that, oh my gosh, you get a bit scared and you're thinking, oh my god, my hair's actually falling out, but it's not. It's just going through its natural cycle, and it's just obviously the shed hair has built up over time because you haven't brushed or combed your hair. Other things that can cause shedding is stress as well. I don't know about you, but I find that when I'm under a lot of stress, I find that my hair is not falling out. Well, I would think it's falling out, right? But it's actually shedding more. Hormones as well can affect this. So it might be a certain time in the month where actually you experience a lot more shed hair than normal. Also for me and a lot of other people as well, when you've been pregnant or are currently pregnant, maybe, congratulations to you, is that your hair will actually go through more of the anagen phase. So the anagen phase is where your hair is just continuously growing, and this phase is a little bit longer when you are pregnant. So you might find actually your hair is growing like Rapunzel, your hair is growing longer, thicker, so that also can affect the amount of shedding that you have. I mean, to be honest, I hardly had any shedding because obviously it was just building up as well. But when I did give birth, and months later, my hair was just shedding, so, which is normal. Seasons as well, so you might find that actually in the summer months, for me personally, my hair flourishes more, whereas when I look at the winter months, the colder seasons, my hair feels a lot more dry. So again, I might experience more shedding during those times. What causes breakage now, as opposed to shedding? Now, dryness can cause this. So if your hair is really brittle and dry, it will just snap and break. So that's why I do really emphasize the fact of making sure that your hair is moisturized. You don't want to overly moisturize your hair because actually that can cause damage as well. But you want to just make sure your hair is moisturized to a certain degree, and ideally sealing that moisture with an oil or butter. Low elasticity as well, so if your hair doesn't kind of spring back into place, when you stretch your hair out slowly, it doesn't spring back, that can mean that your hair elasticity needs to be improved as well. So you want to look for maybe elasticity treatments that can help with that, because if your elasticity is not great, then your hair can easily snap whilst you try and stretch that hair strand out. So imagine how your hair is then when you're brushing or combing it. It probably just breaks very easily. Tight styles as well. I've done this many a times when I was younger as well. I used to always have ponytails and make sure I have my hair sleeked back. which can actually cause breakage on the hairline as well. And actually always having your hair in a tight ponytail can actually cause breakage in the middle parts of your hair, and even at the bottom. So you might find that actually when your hair's out, you have some like shorter pieces at the back because of the breakage that has been occurring as a result of having those tight hairstyles. Over manipulation as well. Now I've done this many a times, especially when I've gotten frustrated with my hair and I'm like, I can't detangle it very well, or I'm just short of time. But overly touching your hair, manipulating it, you know, doing this, doing that to it can actually cause breakage as well. So in terms of the fixes now, how can we fix these problems? So when it comes to shedding, try to not panic, honestly. You know, shedding is the normal stage that our hair does go through, so it's normal. But obviously in excess, you probably want to look at, you know, your scalp health, maybe get your scalp checked out as well. You might want to do some scalp massages, use some oils on your hair that can actually help with the environment of your scalp. Also, I find that actually spraying tea, like black tea, actually helps as well. So if you put some black tea, if you steep some black tea in a cup, maybe for like 10 minutes, and you put it in a spray bottle, if you use that after you've washed your hair and just leave it on for a little bit prior to conditioning your hair, it can actually really help as well. Well, I found it, in my personal opinion. Black tea or green tea is actually meant to be quite useful as well. In terms of breakage, you want to definitely make sure that your hair is moisturized. Please try not to let your hair dry out too often. I think I might have mentioned in one of my videos as well about knowing your moisture cycle. You might find that actually once you've washed your hair gets dry after 2 days, and that's normal maybe for your cycle, whereas with someone else it might not get as dry. So, you know, think about maybe re-moisturizing your hair during the week, and definitely sealing in the moisture with an oil or butter, because as I said in one of my other videos as well, sealing your hair in is almost like a plug to a sink. It just kind of seals everything in, so you probably want to do that as well. And maybe incorporate more deep conditioning into your routine as well if you find that your hair's breaking a little bit more often. Your hair might need you know, more protein as well, so it might need to be strengthened as well. But obviously too much protein can cause more damage, so you probably want to look out for a treatment that balances both the moisture and the protein in your hair. And a really good one I might have spoken about before, which I can insert up here, is by Mono's Hair. Absolutely amazing treatment, really love it, and it sells out so much. I mean, I'm waiting to order mine soon because it's sold out on her website. So amazing treatment, honestly, it's really good. So yeah, that's it from me really. The question that I have for you today is that in terms of your wash day routine, do you find that you have more shorter pieces that you see, or longer pieces in the sink or wherever you wash your hair? And if so, and if it's been in excess, and how have you been able to combat this? So yeah, that's it from me really. So as I always say, like and subscribe below, and comment, let me know if there's any other content that you'd like to see from me. But as always, I'm signing out. Love from my curls, and have a very blessed week ahead. Bye bye.